here is a video that Mikey sent me today, and this is what happened to me in college. So this is from Rochester, Buckman Road in Rochester. It's from one of Mikey's favorite accounts, Rock Gone Mad. I'm just going to play it here in slow motion. Now you'll see a lady running down the street. Let's just go full speed, actually, just to start it, see if you pick up on anything.
And they slow it down, too, for you.
Swaddles by. She's, squirts on by. And then they slow it down and even zoom in for you guys. I'm going to do this.
She left a present on the sidewalk, too.
Oh, she sure did. Went flying.
There's flowers coming out. I didn't see that earlier on my phone, bro.
Yes, that's really
a Hershey Kiss on the sidewalk, bro.
Oh my God. So I'm not exaggerating, dude. That is what my leg looked like. Now she's wearing sandals. Now I feel even worse for her because she's wearing sandals. So you know that shit is exactly, it's squeeging in between her fucking toes.
There's no worse smell in the world than human shit. And dude, when your own shit's out of a toilet, it smells horrible. Dude, this girl's, I don't know how she's not puking.
I was fortunate enough to be wearing socks. So mine went right down my leg and my sock started absorbing it. And I left out the, quote, best part of the story is when I ran, after I finished my fitness test, I faked a sprained ankle at the end of the first 110 yards and then gimped off, running off to the side. And it had rained the night before, so there was a big-ass fucking mud puddle there. And I went and sat in the mud puddle to try to cover the shit that was all over me.
Toilet, sat down and took a shit.
I didn't shit in the toilet. I had already shit myself. I was done shitting at that point. But Mikey, you talk about the smell. Now, this football field, have you ever been in a football field when it's all muddy and wet? It already kind of stinks like shit almost. Like it already
water. Yeah.
Yes.
Like a swamp. Especially
exactly.
If it's a spot that stays wet, like, oh dude, it's stagnant water and algae and mold and ugh.
Then I went and sat in this stink with my own stink, and this poor trainer girl had to come over and take care of me and pretend that like my ankle hurt and oh yeah, I need to get my ankle taped.
Did you tell her that? Did she know that she had to know that you shit?
She didn't say anything, but she definitely knew. Because that's where the barnyard thing came in later on, where like one of the guys was like, hey, we used to have this guy named Barnyard who did the fitness test and shit himself. Like they were talking about me behind me, like I wasn't listening or whatever. And I think I quit the next day. So that was the end of my football career. I wonder if this will be the end of her running career. I hope that
she's got a beer in her hand too, it looks like.
Oh, good for her. What is going on then that she's running with a beer, shitting her pants on a
she's
full
gotta go to her car and get in the car.
I wonder what she is running for. Like, you think something scared her and she's running and she's actually scared to death? Or was trying to run to get to her car?
Just horribly embarrassed. I think she was jogging to get back to the car, and I think jogging was a mistake. You have to waddle walk and keep your cheeks plucked.
Oh, everybody knows you do the straight
walk. You can't. Yeah, dude, you can't run, dude. It's jiggling it around, and it's gonna force itself out.
Mikey, it's called the straight leg shuffle that you do. Yeah. So, but yeah, this poor woman. Let's watch her one more time. Unidentified Rochester woman shits herself as she's running, leaves a little nugget behind for everybody to have to clean up as well. So. Thank you for sending that to me, Mikey. I laughed my fucking ass off when I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, I can relate to that one there."
Yeah, I figured it would come in handy.
All right, let's see here. Hold on, I hit the wrong button.
Oh, dude, by the way, I saw Furiosa. I don't know if you're a Mad Max fan or if you like the George Miller adaptation.
All right, hold on.
Charlize Theron that came out. I'm a fan of the original, Beyond Thunderdome and everything like that as well. I'm a big
All right, let's do this.
Guy.
Save this. We'll talk about this at the end of the show because I would love to get a review from you on this. Actually, I'd love to hear your review on this. So, but before we do that, I do have one other video. Before that, I get to this other video. I have another shit story. It's really good. In France, they're going to be having the Olympic Games coming up, the Summer Olympics in 2024. And French
This year?
citizens.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. It crept up really quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because I mean, the commercials they've been talking about it for years, and all of a sudden it's here. But a lot of the French citizens there aren't really happy about. Apparently, the Seine River, the River Seine, which runs through Paris, it is kind of messy. It's it's not the cleanest river. So
it's a shit river.
It's funny you say that, Mikey. They're actually getting ready to try to clean it up. I don't know if necessarily what's in it right now is shit, but it is very dirty, and it's going to be very, very expensive.
In there by the container.
It's going to be very.
Clean it up?
The reason they're protesting is because it's going to be very, very expensive for them to clean up this river.
The Olympics are coming to town. They're about to make billions.
The citizens aren't happy about it. In fact, they're so unhappy that they have put together a protest. The protest, they've actually put together a hashtag for it. It says, Je suis dans les chaînes le 23 juin. I don't know what 23 is in French. I can't remember. I don't care. And what that says, what that means translated to English is hashtag I poop in the Seine on June 23rd. So they are planning a mass defecation flash mob where all of the people who are protesting this cleanup of the River Seine decided, all right, you want something to fucking clean up? You want to spend 1.2 billion pounds to clean up the river just for the fucking Olympics? You want to spend our tax money? Well, let us give you something to fucking clean up.
God, dude. Another strike against white people and our dumb fucking protests.
The message...
just burn down a city or do something cool for once.
I think this is fucking great. I absolutely fucking love that they're doing this. I think this is good. This is a really... They say...
Yeah, let's stank up where we live and ruin where we live.
Well, they're going to clean it anyway. I mean, they know that they're going to clean it, but they're just going to tell these people that they don't want them to clean it. I think it's hilarious. If you're going to do a protest, don't fucking run out in the middle of the street and block the streets. Go in the river and take a shit. I don't fucking care. It's going to get washed away eventually anyway. Unless that's their drinking water. I don't think they drink the Seine. I don't know. Maybe that is. If that's where they get their drinking water from, that's pretty gross.
That explains a lot.
They're upset about the government spending priorities. One of the messages they've put out, it says, because after putting us in shit, it is up to them to bathe in our shit. That's the slogan for their campaign. So pretty good. So it's going around on X right now. On Sunday, June 23rd, we expect many of you to come and take a shit in the Seine. Yeah, so the Olympics are going to be in France from July 26th through August 11th. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I want to see Sha'Carri Richardson run. That girl's so fucking awesome. I want to see her run.
Light up a blunt on the podium.
That would be fucking great. She could stick it to everybody. And then, of course, the women's gymnastics. Can't get enough of women's gymnastics. Fucking love it. Let's see. Or wait, is that winter?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, fuck.
Or swimming.
Swimming
in the summer.
Beach
in the summer.
Beach volleyball. What am I talking about? That's what Summer Olympics is. Beach volleyball. Duh.
Oh, we always suck at beach volleyball.
I know, but like the Brazilian team, usually a little short real short
them
bikinis.
BBLs.
Yeah. So, another thing I love, Mikey. So we just talked about taking a shit, and what do we know? What's something that can? This is what the people at France should do. They should start. They should put a deal right now. Go sale on cheese. Right? Cheese blocks you up. You know what I'm saying? They should put cheese on sale. The reason I bring up cheese, Mikey, like this segue.
I do.
Remember, I don't know if you know this, but right now, what went on, we've talked about this in the past. I think just about every year that we've done another dumb show, I've talked about this because I'm a big fan of the Gloucester cheese roll. So here's the video of them. There goes the cheese. Oh, fuck. Ah! Oh, why'd it cut away right there? Oh. Oh, man. Oh, God.
Sorry. I need to get ready for
It's another dumb show.
Hello. Welcome to Another Dumb Show. I am Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining me on issue number 212. So good to have you guys all here with me. Feels so good. Feels so right having you guys streaming on my tube at night. Hope you guys had a good day. I had a good day today. Got some stuff taken care of. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. That was one of the more fun recaps that we've had in a while. I do enjoy a good crap video. Probably as much as anything else. A woman running down the street taking a dump down her leg. Can't beat that. So don't forget, hit that thumbs up. If you've not already taken a second to do that, I would greatly appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up button on tonight's show. Take your thumb out of your ass, hit your thumbs up button on your phone, wipe your phone off, then stick your thumb back in your ear. If you're not watching live, make sure you get your comments in. I did get a comment from Laura, who was kind enough to put a superfan donation in. Lemons Laura says, showing love to Curious George, Dumb, Darla, and Mikey. Thank you everyone for your kind words. I can't always comment live, but I definitely try to. If you don't know what any of that means, Curious George, listener of the show, called in to the show the other day, and you can always call into the show, 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. Program that in your phone. And by the way, if you watch on your phone, start watching on your laptop or on your big screen or something, so you can call into the show. I don't think we're going to have Mikey with us tonight. So Open Lines America, I'd love to hear from you guys. Call in, talk about whatever you got going on. But anyway, that comment from Laura is in reference to Curious George, who had called in on, I think it was Tuesday was the last time we were live. And he was talking, Laura, I think, came up, during the break montage. We play pictures, a picture montage that runs during the break. A picture of her popped up wearing her Another Dumb Show t-shirt. She's very pretty. George was apparently that was the first time he'd caught a whiff of that picture of Laura, and he needed to know who she was. And then he was talking about how beautiful she was, and turns out she was actually watched that episode or issue and wanted to give a little bit of love to Curious George and all of us, because we all agreed she's very pretty. So she hooked us up with some cash. So I'm going to keep telling Laura, very gorgeous, beautiful woman. Thanks for the $5 superfan donation. Don't forget, if you are not watching live, you can always help support the show with your superfan donations through the comments. And we would definitely appreciate if you guys shot those in while we're live. And of course, we're always looking for members to join the League of Dummies. The League of Dummies, that's our live chat here. Big shout out to Jerry. He was first in chat. There was a little bit of back and forth in there. Boomer thought, he said, who got first? Mine shows me, but I know Jerry was right there with me. It was Jerry. Boomer, you were close second. So thank you to the League of Dummies. I'd like to have all of you guys become members to help support the show. See, it ain't cheap. Just had to pay a bunch of bills to keep this shit up and running today. So the more members we get, the better. I appreciate everybody who helps support the show because, like I said, it isn't, we aren't the biggest show in the world. It exactly isn't, it costs money to keep this thing up and running. So your support really, really does help. And I mean that. So you can just go to the Another Dumb Show homepage, YouTube homepage, youtube.com/AnotherDumbShow. Click the join button, pick a tier level, and you will become a member and supporting the show. Don't forget to follow the show, X, Instagram, at Another Dumb Show. There it is. And guys, holy shit. Oh, wow. So breaking news within the last hour or two, our president I don't know if he's my president. He's Mikey's president for sure. But he was our former president. Donald Trump was in court today for his to get the verdict on his hush money trial. The verdict came in guilty on all 34 counts. S Rose 40 says guilty on all 34 counts. LOL, he's just doing too much winning. Excuse me, guys. I got a little frog in my throat today. My throat's a little, I'm all gravelly. I've been coughing all day. I don't know if I'm coming down with something or if it's allergies or what. So I apologize if I'm coughing into the microphone and all today. So Donald Trump, we pull up this story, the news story here about Donald Trump. So the Trump trial verdict, jury finds former president guilty in all 34 felony counts in his hush money criminal case. I do actually have his response to the verdict. The verdict. I apologize. My computer, my throat and my computer, I'm a little distracted right now. So give me a sec. Plus, I was expecting to have my dude Mikey here, but he's got something going on. I think he had a bad day at work, so he's out for today. So that just kind of threw me off because I was expecting to have my dude with me, and I don't have my dude with me, and not giving him a hard time about it. Just keeping it real with you folks. So here we go. Here is former President Donald Trump responding to the guilty verdict that just came down on all 34 counts just a little bit ago.
Are you worried about going to jail?
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble, but this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
So there you go. Former President Trump reacting to being found guilty of 34 counts of, well, let's see, falsifying business records, essentially, is what he's in trouble for. So this is crazy. The former president of the United States is facing he's out on bail or bond or whatever the fuck it is. And then he is facing sentencing on July 11th. The former president of the United States is going to be a felon. And he's going to be up for election. This whole thing is just absolutely mind-blowing. Completely mind-blowing. So I don't know what to think about this whole thing, because I don't like... I'm over Joe Biden. I'm fairly over the Democratic Party and how just completely overly woke it's gotten, and the way the border's being handled and everything. Things need to be tightened up around here. And I'm not a guy who likes rules necessarily, but I feel like we need some more rules to kind of tighten up things a little bit again. Things are getting out of control. Our country's going to shit. Our president is borderline got dementia. And our other former president who he's up against is a felon. I mean, what happened to our country? This is insane. What are we doing right now? These are our two options. I think at this point we have just let RFK on the debate stage, RFK Jr. Let him on the debate stage. Let him go at it with these two yutzes, and give this guy an opportunity to be on the ballot at this point. We need another option. This is insane. You guys might, whether you like him or not, he's just said some, you know, if you disagree with him about vaccines or whatever, who cares? That's the, like, at least he's fighting against the pharmaceutical industry. He's not doing goofy, weird, woke ass shit and letting because Trump's right about the border. That shit's out of control down there. The amount of people coming in through the border, it's out of control. You know, I when Trump was in office, I had more money in my pocket than I have since Biden was in office. I understand there was back end of the pandemic or whatever, so everything was a little screwy with all of that, but this whole thing is just absolutely out of control. Camping with Ruffles says he's not going to jail, probably just a fine. That's pocket change for him. He's going to be facing, he's got sentencing coming on the 11th. Now, the whole thing's going to be on July 11th, which is interesting because the debate is on, the debate between Trump and Biden is on the 28th of June. So like 4 weeks or whatever, roughly. So the sentencing is then 2 weeks after that. So this whole thing is so fucking crazy, man. I can't even wrap my head around the fact that we're going to watch a felon and a guy with dementia debate about the future of our country. Oh my God, dude. That's so fucking scary. That's so scary. I mean, like, if you're a Democrat and you're like, you know, you're waving the flag right now because you're so fucking excited about what happened to Trump, shouldn't be. This is fucking bad. This sucks. You know what I mean? If you're a Republican who's just sitting around gloating about the fact that Biden's got dementia and because you're pro-Trump or whatever, it just, the partisan politics and the fact that we're so divided right now that people are willing to say, yeah, I'd rather have the guy that's a felon, or yeah, I'd rather have the guy with dementia. It's nuts. We're living in a fantasy world right now. 844-HIT-DOM, 844-448-3862. Let me know what you guys think about the president facing jail time. I mean, he's a felon, for God's sakes. The former president of the United States is now a convicted felon. I tried to get some video of some Trump. I know there were some Trump people, some Trump supporters crying outside of the verdict. Trump supporter cry verdict. I swear I had one and I lost it. Where did it go? There's a picture of one. This guy crying. Oh yeah, here's this guy crying. Let's get this guy crying. All right, here we go. Why is there no audio? Oh, hold on. I forget that dumb thing. Hold on one sec. Hold on. This stupid setting that never stays. We'll never understand why this doesn't stay on here. So there's that. Audio's all the way up. We're on this one. Play. Why is there no sound?
Donald fucking Trump. The only man that ever stood up for me in my fucking life.
Throw it through.
Donald fucking Trump.
Fucking Obama. Fuck Obama.
Yo, that motherfucker just won the election, I'll tell you that much.
Crying.
Fuck Joe Biden.
Look, he's crying.
Not guilty.
I hope the country doesn't burn down.
Not guilty.
I hope that we can find a way to love each other and to make right this fucking, this prostitution. Go fuck yourself and your mother.
I love he just said, I hope we can all come together and have love. And then he looks over at somebody who's a Biden supporter and says, go fuck your mother. Oh, that's fucking great, man. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, thank you, Freedom News TV there. S Rose 40 says there are so many MAGA tears flowing, calling them all snowflakes. I am more thinking about the situation of what's going to happen if this guy does end up going to jail. There's a chance that I think he could run the country from jail if he wins the election and still has to go to jail. I think that can happen. I don't know how that'll work. But do you think old Donnie boy. Donald Trump's a horny motherfucker. That guy loves the fuck. I mean, he fucks. Donald Trump fucks. Let's not pretend whether you like him or not, whether you hate him, you love him, whatever. That guy fucks. All right, he's an old guy, but he's got enough money, and he's probably just taken every kind of Viagra or Cialis or whatever he has to keep everything running with all these Playboy models and porn stars and stuff that he's banging. Melania's younger and hot, so you know he's pounding people out right now. He's doing major pounding. So I'll get back to that in a sec. In the meantime, let me grab the phones because I did ask for a phone call. This is Jake, not drunk Jake, on the phone. What's up, Jake? How are you, dude? Hello?
Oh, hey, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's all right. What's up, bro?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good.
Oh, not too much. Just one call. I was curious about all the woke policies that Joe Biden put through. I was wondering if you could list them off for me.
I didn't hear what you said. Say that one more time. It's very quiet.
Sorry, is that better?
Now I can hear you. Yes.
Is that better?
Yes.
I was wondering if you could list let me know all the woke policies that Biden passed.
Well, I didn't say he passed them. I said the Democratic.
Nope.
I said the Democratic Party in general and the woke kind of ideals that they put. If I said policies, I used the wrong word. It's the kind of the overwhelming.
How many policies has the Democrat-led Senate put through?
How many policies has the Democratic Well, there's actually not been much done by anything. I think this whole Congress has been the least productive in history. I believe that they've only actually been able to get like 37 bills passed or something crazy like that.
Yeah. Because I know you say Biden has dementia at the time. By the way, look up any clip of any Trump speech and watch him call Nancy Pelosi, Nikki Haley. Watch him moan over Russia and China. I mean, I'm serious. I don't think Biden. See, I rest my case. If you want to talk about, we can go shot for shot over Biden and Trump and their mental capacity because that dude is bonkers. You heard his response after the court hearing. Like for a guy who supports law and order, no matter how he feels, no matter what anyone feels, law and order. So I mean, at the end of the day, I would rather take someone who literally didn't say that he's essentially never going to leave office if he gets back in. I'd rather take Joe Biden because, at least we know he'll croak in a couple of years.
Hold on real quick. Where did Trump say that? I've actually never, because I know Robert De Niro was saying that the other day, and where has he said that before?
He said, well, it was a dictator policy thing. Oh, I'll only be a dictator for one day. It was an interview he had a couple months ago. He said, oh, I'll only be a dictator for one day. Well, yeah, we'll see how that goes with every other conservative government.
Yeah, movement. I mean, I understand.
I can't remember exactly who it was with.
I understand the worry about the authoritarianism that comes along with Trump. I could understand that, but I feel like you thought January 6th was bad. I feel like the whole country would revolt if a president said, "No, I'm just going to stay in office somehow." I just feel like that would be. It would be a totally.
They wouldn't. They wouldn't though. That's the thing is people wouldn't care because the people on the other side aren't people who go crazy. They try to handle things civilly. That's why when Trump got like 2016, we all bit our tongues and said, "Oh well, it sucks." It's not like that's a movement, man. And say what you want about the MAGA movement, whatever. They're dedicated and they're committed. And people on the other side, they're just normal people who aren't following. We don't hang Biden flags. We don't have Biden T-shirts or Biden hats. Like I said, feel however you want about either one of the candidates. But Democrats aren't a cult. And then you have all this shit on the Supreme Court. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, man. And you have to look at this guy who
I watch it all. I see both sides. I watch it all.
Well, no, but CYX made a very good comment earlier on. there, I know you sit here and say, and I mentioned the last time I called, oh, I had more money in my pocket when Trump was around. Well, that was also pre-pandemic. That's before a whole bunch of companies had to shut down. That's before 1 million people died. No matter what you think about COVID.
Yeah.
All that shit happened.
I did throw that caveat. I did throw that kind of caveat there on the end of it when I said it. So I did kind of throw that in there. But so listen, my point is I'm a person who is really kind of, I hate being wishy-washy, but I really do tend to ride in the middle, and I ride left or right depending on whatever the issue is. I mean, there's really all there is to it. And I know that's, going back to the whole what you said about people being in a cult or whatever, I kind of feel that way about both sides. I feel like both sides are very culty to the extreme, like the extreme left and the extreme right, very culty. I want nothing to do with either of them. All right, now
hold on, real quick. What's the extreme left though? What do you consider the extreme left? And don't say them cutting off kids' genitals because they're trans, because that's not a thing that happens. It's not. I've done the research. It's not a thing that happens. In maybe a handful of cases with bad doctors that everyone agrees should be lose their practicing ability. But like, other than trans stuff, what's the woke stuff on the left? I don't get woke. I think gay people should be allowed to get married. Oh, that's woke. Oh shit. Oh my God.
God, no. That's silly. No, of course not. That's like a basic human right.
Dumb. 30 years ago, that would have been considered woke, right?
True.
It's progress. Progress marches on. Things are different. I'm not saying, if someone's trans, let them be trans. Doesn't matter. If they're a kid, they should be an adult to do it. It's a weird subject that no one wants to talk about. They only want to say it's right or it's wrong. I'm saying, though, both policies are considered progressive policies, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Jake, I have a question. I have a question for you. Do you think that Donald Trump will go gay for the stay? Guy loves to fuck.
No, I think he'll watch. I think he'd be cool watching. I think he doesn't want to dirty. I think he doesn't want to dirty his hands. I think he'll be like, hey, you show Bubba a good time, and
it'd be like it'd be like that scene in Django with the guys wrestling in front of the dudes in front of the fire, and that horrible scene where they had the slaves wrestling in front of the fire. That'd be Donald Trump just sitting back with the other rich white guys in jail watching the black guys fuck. That's awful. What a horrible picture that would be.
And I do want to say, I feel bad to the extent that going through any of legal kind of trouble sucks for anyone, no matter who you are, whether you're guilty or innocent. Stressful. It sucks whether you brought it on yourself or not, no matter who it is. So it does suck. So I give him that, and his family's going through it. His wife's going through it. I feel bad for his wife and his youngest kid. I mean, shit.
Yeah. Well,
what did they have to do with any of this?
Well, future President Barron, I'm sure he'll get through this somehow.
Yeah, of course he will. He'll just stand
so
up for everybody.
that's what they're saying is coming down the pipeline, right?
Oh yeah, he's already a delegate, so that's a big deal.
Well, there's rumors that he's got some sort of, he's on the spectrum somewhere. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see though if he does turn out to just be a normal Trump kid and turns out to be all blustery and then ends up we have Trump, like a second Trump down the line as president. That'd be crazy.
No, I think you got the two weirdos. I think you got Don and Eric, and I think those two are the weirdos. I think Ivanka's pretty normal. I think she stood by her dad, and she's like, after that was done, she's like, I'm not messing with this shit. And I think Barron is. I think he's gonna do his thing.
Well, the rumor is he's gonna be president someday. So, but yeah, I'm with you, Jake. I love me some Ivanka too. Plenty. The more Ivanka, the better. Love her. God. So, all right, Jake. I will let you go, my dude. Thank you for calling in. Handle that kid.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, man.
Later, bro. Later. 844-HIT-DOM, 844-448-3862. What is woke? What are the left woke policies that I'm talking about, that Jake is trying to get us to talk about? Because I'm not always necessarily that good at espousing my ideals when it comes to wokeness and things like that. Because I think it was hard to kind of talk a little bit too with the noisy phone, but I appreciate Jake. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just I think there was a weird connection. But as far as the trans stuff, obviously, I'm not for that. Trans rights, as far you want to be trans, go right the fuck ahead. I don't care. But I don't like the trans people playing in women's sports. I think that's shitty to women. I think it's unfair to people, to women in particular. It's just wrong. It's just biologically very different. It just seems like a very easy thing. So, but anyway, so Trump is he's known for his grab him in the pussy comment, right? Do you think when he gets in jail, it's going to change? He's going to have another kind of like, he's going to have to switch up his saying and just be like, see, boys, what you really need to do is you just got to stab him in the stinky. That'll be his new line in jail. To make sure that all the, that was that visual of him just sitting back with his legs up, just got his feet up, smoking a cigarette. That spray. What's he going to do with that hair in jail? Do they have hairspray in jail? He's going to have some dude just jizz all over his hands and rub them together and say, there's my hair looks great today. I hope you guys love it. Thank you for your jizz, guys. It's really helped with my hair today. Because if I had to guess, he uses what I use, the Pantene Airspray Level 5. That was what I used to use, but they don't sell it anymore. The Dems took it away. Biden took away my hairspray. Level 5, Level 4. I can't do the New York part of that. I can get the growly, gravelly part. I can't get the New York part down. I've been trying it. Anyway, but yeah, that Pantene Airspray, man, they got rid of Level 5, Level 4. Now I'm down to Level 3. You got to use too much of that. Got to use too much when you use the Level 3. It's too much spray. It's too much, like Hunter and the cocaine. It's too much. Curious George, you're on another dumb show. What's up, dude?
Good evening, Dom. How are you?
Glory, what's up, bro?
Hey, it's one quick question, and I was kind of curious. So what is the one thing that every time motherfucking gets you to cry? Like for me, it's seeing dogs that haven't seen their owners in years and they go crazy, or military people surprising their kids by showing up to their school and stuff. That messes me up. What is it for you?
Ooh, you like the military porn, huh?
Every time that gets you to cry.
You like that military porn? I actually find that to be something about that bugs me. I don't know what it is about that. I find those to be. I feel like I know they're not staged, but they just seem so phony. I don't know. My kids have probably never been that happy to see me, so I just don't know. Maybe that's just why I feel that way. No, the thing that will always get me to cry, listening myself try to impersonate Donald Trump. No, I would say anything having to do with my dog Mufasa, my chocolate lab that I got when I was married to my ex-wife. He stayed with her when we got divorced because I wanted the boys to have him. Grow up with him, even though he was my dog and my best friend. And I actually, at the time, my place didn't allow dogs. So I couldn't get a dog, or I couldn't have him with me. And so he ended up, one morning, I think I had a wedding on a Friday night. And then a Saturday morning, I had my phone on silent. And I missed a bunch of phone calls from my ex-wife, and I woke up and I found all these missed calls. And then I went to, I called her back, and she said, I'm trying to hold it together here. She said, there's something wrong with, we called him Moof. She said, there's something wrong with Moof. He went outside, and then he just fell over, and he can't walk. Aww. And yeah, it was bad. So then they brought him inside and they laid him down in the kitchen, and he died in the on the way while I was on the way to him. So I was literally, and I think I had maybe met her new husband once, been in their house maybe one time, and I laid on the kitchen floor holding him, sobbing. I mean, like just like that kind of fucking sobbing. And it was bad, man. And I didn't even like, I was in my own little bubble. I didn't even like, until I left, like, it didn't even dawn on me that I'm on like a stranger's floor crying, looking like the biggest pussy in the world. So that's it. Mufasa will always get me to cry. And he almost got me there, but I held it together.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Take care, man. Thanks.
You're welcome, dude. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, that's it. I don't think I want to go. That was a perfect little segue to get out of all the politics stuff. I don't think I wanted to spend all night on politics anyway, but I unless you guys want to call in and talk about it, the phone number, 844-HEY-TOM. Give me a call. We can bounce around all night for all I care. But again, just in the short story with the whole thing is, guys, whether you love Biden, whether you love Trump, Jake obviously has made his decision. He likes Biden. He likes Biden's policies or whatever. And I'm probably too ignorant and uninformed, and I make a lot of my decisions based on in the moment kind of stuff with this kind of politics stuff. Like, honestly, I feel like every time I voted, it came down until the very last second where I walked into the voting booth and then almost went, you know what I mean? So it was, I feel like we're right back there. We got to fucking do something about the system and get us more fucking options. It just sucks. It's all fucked up. So, all right. Enough of that stuff. Unless you call in and you want to talk about it. Now, last night, I told a story about how, you guys know I've been doing DoorDashing and stuff. I'm trying to get extra money to kind of like get out of debt and try to get ahead for once and not always be, chasing normalcy, you know what I mean, with finances. So I am trying to work my ass off as much as I can, doing the show, DoorDashing, doing weddings, to try to, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm all busy or whatever. It's got nothing to do with that. Everybody's busy. Everybody works hard. But so I told a story about how I was DoorDashing on Memorial Day, and I did a transaction at it was at a dollar store. And when I went in to do the dollar store, when I got all this stuff, it was a bunch of like snacks. It's amazing how many people just order like a bag of Skittles, a bag of Twix, or a bag of Twizzlers, and a Red Bull. I mean, it's seriously, I deliver that kind of order twice a day, every day. I feel like it's weird. But I guess that's what DoorDash is for. But sometimes some people, the stereotypes are true when it comes to tipping. I'm just going to get that one out there. They're very true when it comes to tipping. From my experience DoorDashing, it's been ridiculous. But it's crazy. Sometimes like these people, they do these orders that are like, they spend $25 on stuff and they tip $8. It's crazy, which is great for me. I love it. It's awesome. But then on the other hand, you have people who order 35 items and don't tip at all. So we're living in a world full of fucking crazy people. But so anyway, I did a transaction at this dollar store on Monday. I tried to use my digital card because they give you you get a specific credit card to pay for people's orders with. That's how it works for the shoppers. Like you actually go pick out the stuff, put it in the cart, walk up to the register and pay like you would normally pay, but you have a card that they give you for these transactions. Now, you can also be added to your phone as a digital card. I did that. I go to use the digital card twice. It doesn't work. Declined once, declined twice. So I reach in my wallet. I pull out the hard red card. I swipe it. Goes through. So I thought. Well, I get home, and when you finish dashing, you hit end, and then you immediately get the money that you made deposited in your account. So I always go to check to make sure it gets deposited right away. Well, when I checked it, there was a fee on there, or a transaction on there for like $27 from the Dollar General. So I realized something had gone wrong with that transaction. Either it didn't go through or I used the wrong card, which I don't think I used the wrong card. I don't think I used let's say it's called the white card. I didn't use, there's a red card and a white card. Let's say I accidentally used the white card. I didn't. Well, I called DoorDash about this. This is on Monday. To tell them I need, I want my money. Give me my money back. I'm not paying for somebody's order because the red card didn't work. And in my estimation, what happened was because that order didn't get paid for with the red card, they just automatically deducted it from my account, which would make sense because it's like I just did an order without paying for it. So somebody's got to pay for it, so they would ding me. Well, I called customer service about it, and when customer service says, hey, do you have, okay, that's that. Thank you for explaining everything to us. Do you have a receipt for the transaction? And I said, no, of course I don't have a receipt because the app tells us after the transaction, you take a picture of the receipt and then you discard the receipt. You throw it away. You don't put it in the bag. You don't give it to the customer. They get a copy of it through the picture you take and you throw the receipt away. Why would I have the receipt is what I say to the customer service person. Go round and round with them about how it doesn't make any sense. Explain to them that I did take a picture of it. It's in their system. I take the picture with the app. I get nowhere with this person. I demand to speak to a supervisor. They tell me a supervisor can only call me back in 24 hours. So I say, all right, fine, let's fucking do it. 24 hours. So I wait 24 hours of Tuesday, no callback. Wednesday, no callback. So I fucking call again today. And I think I called once yesterday too to try it since nobody had called. And I got, oh, that's right. I did call yesterday because when I got through yesterday, I got the guy on the phone. And this is a great example, guys, as to why you always need, if you're doing any kind of customer service stuff, if you don't get where you need to on the first try, keep calling back until you get somebody who's willing to actually do some work. Because the guy I talked to yesterday actually admitted that they do have access to the transactions and the pictures of the receipt. So he could go look at the receipt and see what happened. So, but when this guy went back and looked through the transactions, he wasn't able to match up the dollar amounts because he was looking at the wrong day. The guy was a fucking idiot. He was willing to do the work, but he was stupid. So we got nowhere with it. So he said, I'm going to transfer you over to the white card people, and they can just say you have an unauthorized charge on your card, and you can get a new card, and you'll get a refund for that. So I do that. I go through the whole process with these people. It cost me $5 to get a new card. I have to fill out this form about getting a reimbursement. I get an email back today telling me I'm not going to get reimbursed. I don't qualify for a reimbursement. So I lose. I'm livid. I'm so mad I actually stopped working. I shut off the DoorDash app and I fucking come home. And I get on the phone. And I was ready to read the riot act. But something in my head said, you know what? Kill him with kindness and be firm without being aggressive and just be a little bit stern almost. Just explain to them you understand the process. So I fucking called this lady today. The lady picked up. I gave her the whole spiel about what happened. She gives me the same thing. Well, I need a receipt. Without the receipt, we can't do anything. And I said, well, then let me talk to the supervisor then. She said, we don't have it. There's no way to transfer you to a supervisor. We have to have him call you back. And I said, I've been hearing that for 3 straight days. That's bullshit. I want to talk to somebody in charge. She wouldn't let it go. I wouldn't let it go. And finally, I explained to her, I go, listen, I know that you have access to those receipts. I know you have access to those receipts. You need to go back and look through the transactions, match up the day. You'll see the declined transactions on the red card. All you have to do is do a little bit of digging and you'll find it. She goes, all right, let me put you on hold. I'll look into it. So she puts me on hold, digs into it, and lo and fucking behold, exactly like I said happened, it was on them the whole fucking time. Not my fault. She found the receipt. She saw that I had paid for it with the red card. And there's no reason that I should have been charged on my personal card for it. And bada bing, bada boom, a motherfucker got his refund. I actually got something back in one of these fucking shitty situations where you get fucked over. I actually won. I can't fucking believe it. I got a win for once, guys. It was so great. I thought it wasn't, again, it's not a lot of money. We're talking $26 or something like that. But it's the fucking principle of the whole thing. I'm not exactly rich here. $26, you know, like Mikey said the other day, that's half a bag. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty stoked that I got that back. I was not expecting to get that moolah back. Now, speaking of moolah, I have a interesting TikTok that I found that has to do with money that I thought might be fun for all of us to do. Now, I wish Mikey was here tonight because I'd really like for him to do it. I would like for all of you guys to potentially try this with me to see if it works. I am really bad at saving money. Really, really bad at it. I get money in my pocket most of the time, and it kind of just burns a hole in my pocket. And usually it's on stuff I need. It's not like I'm out buying all this exorbitant stuff. I think like recently I bought that Nespresso maker, and I bought a sound bar for my house. Both of them from that online liquidation. Oh shit, I just gave it away. Fuck. Shit. From the place that I get my stuff from on the cheap. I think I spent like $100 on the two of those things combined. Maybe a little bit more, maybe $150 for the two combined. But it was fucking great investment. I use that Nespresso maker every day. I love it. It's my new favorite thing in the whole world. And the soundbar I have is fucking awesome. And it's like a $400 soundbar system, 7.1 system I got for $65 or something. So it was worth spending it on that. It was a good deal. But normally I'm buying, it feels just like groceries. Spent so much on groceries to refill groceries lately. And, you know, everybody's dealing with that. But, you know, just living costs a lot of fucking money. So it's hard to save money. But I found this TikTok that actually shows a good way to save money. And I thought you guys might want to try it with me. So I don't know what the music stitch is with this. I might have to mute it. So here, let's see.
Saved 5,000 and...
Oh, no, here we go. Okay, I couldn't remember if there was music or if they talk. So, all right. So here is this woman talking about her way to save a whole bunch of money. Here we go. Check this out.
This is how I almost saved £5,050 in 3 months. A lot of you guys had some questions in the previous video, so I will answer them for you. First, if you want the link to the 100 envelope saving challenge, you can get the booklet in my bio. How it works.
Okay, so basically we got, all right, so here you go. She's going to explain what it is. If you're just listening and you're not watching, it's like a little book filled with what, you know, if you're a guy, you had baseball cards, you would put your baseball cards in these little pages, these little inserts, but they're basically just like a little book with 4 little envelopes in it on each page. And there are 100 of these envelopes, little plastic insert envelopes that you can put stuff in. Oh shit, superfan donation from Herman. Thank you. A big tip from Herman. Appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the show, my dude. Really, seriously. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We need it around here. Anyway, going back to this challenge, if you're just listening, it's a booklet full of envelopes, 100 of them, and there's a woman, and she's slowly putting money into these envelopes, and you'll see how it works starting here.
How it works is you put the currency amount in, what number is on the pocket. So for number 1, you will put £1 in, 3.
Okay, so we're talking, this is a British woman, obviously, so it's pounds in the first one. So they look like coins. They are coins, but British pounds come in coins. Like we got our, what do we got? The Sacagawea dollars or whatever, right? Our dollar coins. Are these even around anymore? They get rid of those dollar coins? I haven't seen one of those in like forever. I don't really deal with cash anymore, but yeah, whatever happened to those dollar coins? Anyway, so if you have dollar coins, you could do this here, or you could just do it with singles. You know what I mean? Or you could start with do it with quarters to start things off or whatever. But it wouldn't make sense unless you did 4 and then 2. But that's why these work good. You could do it with dollar bills. I think would be better in this case. So here you go. corresponding numbers on each envelope. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the first page, and then it's going to continue as you move along.
Number 1, you will put £1 in, 3 will get £3, and so on. Also, it comes with a tracker to mark off your progress as you go along. And
okay, so it's got it. So we'll go back to the tracker page. It's got little circles. It goes from 1 to 100. It's a 100 envelope challenge, and it says at the bottom that the total you're going to save is $5,000, 5,000 pounds, or over $5,000. If you buy every day, increase it to the number of dollars that are in each envelope. So
£3 and so on.
Makes
also,
sense.
it comes with a tracker to mark off your progress as you go along, and at the end, you would have saved £5,050. Me and my partner have been doing this challenge together, and it's such a fun way to save your spare change. If you want the link to the booklet, it's in my profile.
Yeah, I don't need the booklet. I can make my own booklet. That's pretty easy. You just go to fucking Michael's and get some fucking things here. But Michael K says, all that TikTok shit's fake. I guess I don't know. I've never logged on to it. I never watched. But who's making $5,000 a month to where they can just save up for it? No, that's the whole point. It's the spare change. If you look at it, it does start to add up towards the end. But if you look at the way it's broken down on... Oh, hold on. I'm in the wrong way. Hold on. Pardon me, guys. Hold on. Let's see here. Where's that full page of the tracker? Okay. If you look at this full page... So there's the full page thing. Why does that look like that? Anyway. So it's got all 1 through 100 circles. So, I mean, literally, we're talking $1 here. It does start to add up over time. But if you have, like I try to do when I do DoorDash, I take a certain amount every day and I move it over a little like save account. So I'm trying to save money, but I end up taking the money out of that save account anyway. I'm really bad at it. But you could do that. You don't have to do this with dollars. You could start with pennies. Like I said, you could do it with quarters. I would like to try to do this with dollars. So if you guys are down to do this with me, shoot me an email. Let me know when you got your, if you're going to do it, and we'll all do it together. anotherdumbshow@gmail.com. We'll keep track of our progress and remind each other that we got to do it. Maybe I'll try to get, see, it puts the feet to the fire, though. It really makes you have to work and have extra money and stuff. But I mean, he does have a point. Once you get to those bigger numbers, a week's worth of $60 every day, that's hard to do. So if you can't do it every day, maybe we do it like, I don't know. It seems easier to do it in the day thing, but it's a lot of money now that I'm looking at it as it starts to add up. That first week, it seems like it'd be pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? Where you're going up to like $10, and then you're like, next week, you're like, oh, I got to drop an 11 in there, a 12, a 13. So it would be kind of hard to do, but I think it actually would be a really good way to try to save money. I'm really not good at it, but this seems like a fun way to do it, because saving money sucks. It's not fun, but this puts a little bit of like a game to it and makes it a little bit exciting, because just seeing your bank account go up a little bit, I mean, that's cool. Yeah, it's great, but it's not like this is very tangible. You can hold it and see it and do it, and it's kind of fun. It would probably make me spend less money on weed. Let's see here. All right, guys. I have a couple I got actually a bunch of stuff to talk about. I just realized what time it is. So what we'll do is I have to go to the bathroom. And so we will take a quick break. When we come back, I have a story about the Tennessee Titans quarterback that I found pretty funny. I got a story about a couple that, there's a little bit of a surprise. I think we'll talk a little bit about Call of Duty and a kind of what would you do situation that I have for you guys. So lots to talk about here on Another Dumb Show. So take those other kids, throw them in the other room, put on a Stormy Daniels movie, slam the door while you get a little Moki Moke and drinky drink on, because the second hour is always happy hour here on Another Dumb Show. So, like I said, join us. Stick around. We'll be right back on Another Dumb Show. Hang on. Hit that thumbs up. Welcome back to Another Dumb Show. I'm Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining me on issue number 212. So good to have you guys here. It looks like might have some damn, this is loud. Might have some breaking news. It looks like we got an all right, we got an active shooter in Minneapolis. Let's see here. Let's see if it's still going on. We got a couple police officers, a couple of people shot. This happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Multiple people, including police officers, have been shot in Minneapolis, reportedly an active shooter situation. Videos and images from the area showed a significant police response along, I don't know, some avenue in the area it was in. Multiple people, including police officers, have been shot in the neighborhood, and it is still an active shooter situation. So, wow. So that's pretty crazy. Who knows what's going on there? It seems like it was, is it still going on? Did it slow down? Did they get the guy? Hold on one sec here. So now, okay, so developing story as of 6:42. Wait, that was earlier. So I don't know if they've gotten the guy yet. I can't find a news story that shows whether they found him or not. But that's always, there's been these ambushes of these cops lately. So I don't know if it has to do with one of those kind of situations or not. But yeah, so I'm checking out this video. So I'll keep an eye on that and see what's going on there. But I feel real bad the other day. We played that video of that explosion in Youngstown. And when I first watched the video, it looked like I didn't think about the time of day or anything. I thought it was from like early in the morning when there was nobody there, nobody around. And man, there were a whole bunch of people who were hurt in that. I think there may have been a fatality, and like, I feel like a real fucking asshole the way I just kind of was like really just kind of lackadaisically played that video. Like, whoa, look at this sweet explosion. And like, all these people got hurt and stuff. I felt like such a fucking dick after I said that. So, real quick, a couple things. I did see there were some comments in there about, who would I see? Johnny Fan says, yo, what up with it? That savings does work. Going back to the TikTok video from before, is that savings does work. It's tough, but if you really want to save, then you will. And Vanilla Charlie says, just do getting a saving. Here's a better way to save money. Open a savings account and every week put money into it. No, I agree. That is obviously the best way to do it, but it's boring. This is kind of fun. That's why I said it's very tangible. You know, watching your bank account go up is great, but this is very tangible kind of thing. So I like it. Nugget Man, who is a Team Dumb Ultimate fan, thank you very much. He's a member now for 11 months. Asks the question, when's the 1-year anniversary of ADS 2.0? I do like this Tuesday, Thursday schedule. Cool guy, shades emoji. I just looked during the break because I actually couldn't remember when the break 1-year anniversary was. It is June 5th. So that is next Wednesday is the 1-year anniversary of the second round here of Another Dumb Show. So thank you to everybody who's been watching and supporting us this whole time. If you're new to the show and just checking us out, thank you to you too. Greatly appreciate you having you here. So I will try to think of something fun to do for our 1-year anniversary. That'll be, so I got to make sure, that would be Wednesday, so we have to be live next Wednesday. Man, I hope my kid doesn't have a baseball game that day. Let's check now. No, we're good to go. Hell yeah, we'll be good to go. I'll need to get, oh boy, I won't be able to get too drunk that night, I don't think, because B1 is getting her IUD replaced the next day. So I'm going to need to do some Pound Town that night. You know what I'm saying? The mayor is going to have to be given a nice tour, maybe a couple tours that night to make sure, you know, because she's going to be down and out for a little bit. The tour bus, well, the tour bus always works, but, you know, the tunnel that the tour bus goes through is going to be down for business, or it's going to be out of commission, out of business, out of commission, down, broken, not working for a little bit. So I'm going to have to get all my tours in the night before. But so yeah, I won't be able. Probably can't get too drunk that night. So maybe if I get the tours in the night before, I don't know. But I do actually, and I will want your guys, all of your opinion on this. So get your phones ready. 844-HIT-DUMP. So let me know what you think about this. So B1, and I had other stuff I told you I was going to talk about, but I totally forgot I wanted to bring this up too. So B1, that's my whatever we are. Significant other, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. FWB, who knows what we are at this point? But we still see each other every day. Essentially, are living a relationship kind of life. We're saying the L word to each other again. So I guess it's a relationship. We're going to have to figure something out here with this whole situation where, like, I don't see her family. She doesn't see my family. We go do that individual, like, Blossom Time weekend. Like, over Memorial Day, I went back to my parents' house for a barbecue. She just was at home. She had done stuff with her family. I was just at home. So in the past, we would have done all that together with the families. But with the history of all of my craziness, her parents, I think, are kind of done with me. And the history of all her craziness, my parents are, I don't know, maybe kind of done with her. I don't know. I don't think any of them have ever said it out loud. But I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of a vibe based on... there's nobody asking where she is when I'm there. There's nobody asking where I'm at when she's there. So, at least that I know of. Maybe her grandma. Her grandma loves me still. So maybe she might still ask for me. I don't know. But anyway, so B1 doesn't live too far from me. She called me earlier and said, "You're never going to believe what's happening." Now, months and months ago, she had this dog just show up at her house. This is months ago. And then a month or so after that, dog shows back. She gets in touch with the people on Facebook, and somehow we have like a little, because they live in our neighborhood, there's like a Facebook group. She went on the Facebook group, said, "Hey, did anybody lose a dog?" The neighbor, somehow or another, she ended up getting the dog back to the neighbor. This time, she might have even called animal control that time. I actually can't remember. I think she did the first time because she couldn't get a hold of the people, or I don't remember why eventually she ended up calling animal control. But I think they got back to her, and we told animal control because the dog did end up back with the people. And the only reason we know that is because it got away again and has gotten to Brittany's house several times before today. Well, then today I get a phone call from her today again saying, "Hey, now we know the dog's name, Lily. Lily's back again." So Lily is a sweet, black lab kind of mutt mix. Looks like a really kind of thin black lab. Old kind of white face. Sweetest fucking dog. Like, he runs right up to you, lets you pet it, not timid. Was a little scared of me because I think just because I'm big and I had my sunglasses on and stuff. So she kind of has her tail between her legs, but she warms up to me in a minute and tail wags and all that shit. So I get over there, or she calls me, tells me Lily is there, and she has contacted the woman again because now, she knows how to directly get a hold of this woman because the dog has gotten over there so many times. And it runs right to her. Runs right to her house. Every time it gets away, it's from like a house behind her. Every time it gets away, it always runs over to hers. And there's a million other houses it could run to around here, but it runs to hers for whatever reason. Must know a good dog person. So she says to me, I talked to the woman about the dog, and she said to me, you're never going to believe this. She says to me, "Hey, so here's the thing. I'm really old. My husband's really old. I don't know if we can take care of this dog anymore. Do you just want to keep the dog? She seems to like you a lot." So just imagine you find somebody's dog for the fourth time, and this person says to you, kind of, we got a lot of dogs already. We'd probably just get rid of this. When you just want to keep that dog, you just want to hang on to it. So what a fucking awkward, horrible position to put somebody in, first of all. What kind of psychopath does something like that? Gives away their dog to a random stranger, knows nothing about it, other than the fact that she's been kind enough to return the dog several times. Who knows what, she could have been beating it the whole time it was with her. These people don't know. But so, poor B1 is really stuck and doesn't know what to do. So 844 hit dumb. What should B1 do? Should she keep this dog? Should she give the dog back? So I ended up saying, look, if you're considering keeping the dog, why don't I bring Darla over and we'll see if they get along. So I ran an errand. Darla and I did a little drive. She got to put her head out the window. She was living life. That's her favorite thing in the world to do. So we did a little drive. And then we went over to her house. And so Darla could meet Lily. And it actually went really well. Darla was a little growly, but her tail was wagging the whole time. She was a little growly. So it was almost like just not sure if it was a, hey, let's play growl or stay away from my daddy growl. Not exactly sure because it seemed the growls kind of came when I was petting Lily. So I'm not really exactly sure if they would be best of friends, but they seem to get along enough to where if we were around each other, like if, you know, she did keep this dog and I went over to her house with Darla, they would get along. So I'm not really sure what she should do. It's a sweet dog. It's a really sweet dog. It definitely loves her. They have quite a little relationship between the two of them. So Johnny Fan says, you don't keep the dog unless you know for a fact you can take care of it. Didn't Darla end up staying with you? She seems more like a cat person. I could be off with thinking that though. You know, I kept Darla because Darla and I we're best friends. I mean, like you guys think I'm attached to Darla, that dog is attached to me, big time. When she goes to B1's house, B1's like when say I'm doing a wedding and B1 takes her, she sits at the door just waiting for me to come back and get her or to be taken back to my house. Sometimes, like she says, like even before I'll get home, she has to bring her back to the house because she gets so antsy that you can tell she just wants to come back to home and be ready, sitting at the door waiting for me like she always is. So I'm very lucky that it went that way because if they had the connection, she would have taken Darla for sure. But Darla really just imprinted on me and I imprinted on her big time. So weird, lame Twilight stuff. But so yeah, that's my girl. But B1, that's one of the things I said to her though too. I said, boy, just remember this is a little bit bigger dog, obviously not Darla. So you know, I'm lucky. Darla can get away with. I'm pretty lazy with Darla. Like she's got pee pads and stuff like that she pees on. If she does poop in the house, it's an easy cleanup. They're little tiny rabbit turds. I was like, boy, that's a lab. I mean, that thing's gonna drop bombs in your house if you don't take it out. So that was one of the things I kind of was reminding her about, how often she's going to have to take it out, how it's going to be, what's the dog going to be like during the day when she's at work? Is it going to tear up her couch, tear up her stuff? You know, where are you going to put it? Are you going to put a gate up, keep it in the kitchen? It's a pretty limber dog and probably could jump right over the gate if it wanted to. So what do? If there's a lot that goes into owning a dog. So I think she could handle it, but I don't know if she wants to do all that. So I think that's kind of what she's considering right now. So and here's where the story gets even weirder. The woman goes, tells B1, actually none of us are home. B1 tells her, hey, I want to sleep on it, whether I want to keep the dog or not. So I'm going to sleep on it overnight. So I'm going to return your dog. When can I meet you at the house? The woman says, neither of us are going to be home for a while, but the front door is unlocked. Here's our address. Just take the dog and put it in the front door. Now, when we got there, if I didn't have Darla in the car with me, I would have gotten my camera out to record what was happening. Because when B1 tried to open the front door to let this Lily into the house, now, this is actually going to be even funnier. If you know Christmas Vacation, or not Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, and the neighbor's dogs, the Bumpus dogs. I think everybody knows the Bumpus dogs. Bumpus dogs. Let's hear the Bumpus Hounds. Let's hear. We'll just play a little Bumpus Hounds audio. See if we can get away with that. 2, 1. Bumpus Hounds. Everybody remembers the Bumpus Hounds. So the bumpuses. All right. So B1 has been complaining about loud dogs behind her. The bumpus is what we call them because they're so loud, barking for years since she's moved into this place, for a year or so now. When we returned the dog, we realized, or well, we didn't realize it at the time because it was so chaotic. When she opened the front door to let the dog in, there were like 8 dogs that tried to get out. She almost got run over. She had to slam the door real quick. I swear to God, she slammed one of the tails in it, just like in the fucking movie, and I heard a burr, burr, burr. I wish I had had my camera out to record the whole fucking thing. Finally, I was like, well, she's obviously going to need my help because she's trying to hold open a front, like, glass, like, screen door kind of thing. Then she's holding the dog with one hand, keeping that open with her butt, trying to open the door with all these dogs sticking their fucking snouts out, barking at her. So I was like, fuck, I got to get up and help her. So I jumped out of the car, went up to the door, and I'm not shitting you when I opened the door. There were fucking 8 dogs in this house. So they could stand to lose a dog. Let's be quite honest at this point. It was quite a scene. We did finally get the dog back in the house. The front door wouldn't shut. So now I think we know how this dog keeps getting out. It doesn't like latch all the way. So it would like, I think the dog's just using its snout and knocking the front door open and walking right out because the screen door doesn't lock shut. So I think that's how this dog keeps getting away. Now, why it keeps going around its house through the back to get to B1's house, I haven't quite figured out or not. But Irish Ronnie says, I feel like if she takes it, eventually you will end up with it. That officially will not happen. I'm good. I got my one dog, man. And that dog is one that you, like I said, you got to be regular with taking it out. There's no pee pads. There's no letting it deuce in the house in the middle of the night while you're asleep. It'll smell so bad when you wake up and the whole house will be, dog at the dumps, you can't smell shit. Unless it's right next to you. She craps in a corner and I'm like, oh, fuck. In the morning I wake up and I do corner checks to see if she dropped one in the middle of the night because 9 times out of 10 she usually did. So, which is gross. Trust me. I know that's gross. But she just does it in the middle of the night. There's nothing I can do about it anyway. So that's that. I don't know what you guys think, whether B1 should keep this dog or not. But I want to, Johnny Fan has a lot of good comments tonight. Johnny Fan says, no wonder that dog's always trying to get out. He's trying to fucking escape. It's like, get me out of this doghouse of horrors. Yes, it was like a doghouse of horrors too. And it was all sorts of different types of dogs. It wasn't like a litter of black labs, like that they all grew up together or something like that. It was like 27 different types of fucking dogs. And one of them was like an Irish wolfhound that was as tall as me, I swear to God. It freaked me out. And I had to grab its head and push it back in when we were trying to get this dog in. It was fucking crazy. I really should have recorded it. I'm so bad about that. I always forget to get my goddamn camera out for stuff. But like the other day, we thought there was about to be a fight there were guys doing moving out front. One of my neighbors is moving, and they were blocking part of the road with the moving truck, and there were people going back and forth, and we thought this one guy was like, asshole, and then we heard another person go, "Arr!" And then the car that went past spun back around and circled back around really quick, and then drove back up next to the moving truck, and then we got real quiet listening for some sort of brouhaha to happen. And then the car just drove off. Then right after that, and mind you, nothing really ended up happening in that case. But I said to myself, after the fact, I was like, why didn't you get your fucking camera out and get ready to go out there and catch a brouhaha as it happens? I could have been one of those people. Missed the whole thing. Again, nothing happened. I think in the end, the guy didn't yell asshole. I think he actually yelled thank you. And then when he turned around to go the other way, maybe he had gotten directions, and that's why he turned around, and that's why the thank you was thrown out there. So who knows? Not really sure. In the end, thought it was going to be cool, but no such luck. Quick story about, I've talked about, Mikey and I have brought this guy up before in the past, and this is a football story that's not really about football. There's a quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. His name is Will Levis. He was dating a girl for a long time. Her name is Gia Duddy. Pretty hot chick. Let me just pull up a picture of Gia Duddy. Let's try to find a good one. Let's find her Instagram. Let's find. There's a million pictures of this girl. All right, here we go. Here she is. All right, so pretty hot chick here. All right, not bad looking at all. You know, not the hottest chick in the world, but not bad looking. Beautiful woman, in fact. What I see, some blue eyes there. So yeah, pretty good looking chick. Here's another picture of her. There you go. So that's the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, Will Levis. That's his ex-girlfriend, Gia Duddy. I apologize, guys. My allergies are going crazy. Jesus. Will and Gia broke up a while back. But somehow, and Will Levis, you might know him if you're not really even into football. You might remember him. He's the guy who was, before the NFL draft, he was doing silly things to get attention because he was kind of, you know, he was highly ranked, but he was just needed more attention because there were people who were getting more attention than him. So he was doing silly things like he ate a banana with the peel on, just like, you know, he recorded himself doing it, saying that's how he eats his bananas. He was putting mayonnaise in his coffee and stirring that and drinking it. So he was doing all these silly things to try to get attention before the draft. So you might know him from some viral videos, even if you don't know football. But so even after they broke up, so Will Levis gets drafted. He goes to the Tennessee Titans. They're broke up. His ex-girlfriend, Gia, she stuck with Instagram, did pretty good as an online influencer. And then it looks like I think they got back together once he got named the starter for the Titans. They got back together, but what happened from there is supposedly a video of the two of them having sex has gone around the internet. Now, I did a little sleuthing, and I did actually find the video that they're talking about. Now, obviously, I can't play that video. Where the hell did that go? Oh, no, did I forget to pull it? I did forget to pull it. Oh, that was dumb. Anyway, so they deny it. They deny it's the two of them in this video. Now, I don't know why they deny it because, well, especially her, because it's quite clearly her. And in the second video, you can kind of catch a glimpse. Now, it's the first video, there's two videos. The first one is a POV video of him looking down, or of a guy looking, allegedly him, looking down at allegedly her. Now, again, I think it looks like her. I don't know 100%. This is all my opinion. But it does look like her. The guy who's doing it is a very fit guy, pretty well endowed guy, in fact. What you would think a quarterback would look like going down there from the neck, chest down and everything. It looked, in skin tone even, kind of looked the same. I know that sounds silly, but it kind of similar skin tone. But again, can't tell. Now, I will say the girl that was doing, she was down on her knees giving him, servicing him. I have to say, a lot of hand. Way too much hand. And just a lot of extra hand. I feel like she's really not that good at what she's doing if she's got to do all that hand work. You know what I mean? It's almost cheating. You know what I'm saying? If you get to that point where you need to do that, that's understandable. But really, the good ones are where there's no hands. So I'll give her, she got the job done, so she gets a 10 just for getting the job done and the way she got it done. We talked the other day about, spitters and swallowers, and looks like a swallower there to me. So, which I guess is a keeper to some guys. Again, I told you the other day, I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me either way. Who gives a shit where it goes? I'm already done with it. It's all yours at this point. You do what you want with it. Keep it, spit it, whatever you want. But anyway, Then I watched this. It's so too much hand. And I think that's cheating. Ladies, I would urge you to try to get as much of that done without your hand if you can. That's kind of the whole point. We got hands. We can do that. We can't, most of us can't get down there to do that other part that you guys are doing. So back off the hand a little. I'm fortunate I don't have that problem to deal with. But allegedly, perhaps Will Levis does. Now, I saw the second video here. There's another POV video. So they love the POV videos, whoever these two people are in this video. Love the POV. He's holding the camera. He's looking down at her. He's the guy's hitting her from the back, and they're right about to start. So he's not gone down the tunnel on the tour bus yet, okay? He's lined up to get in the tunnel. You got that view. And then, well, let's just say if this is the quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, the good news is that this guy can really perform when it comes to a 2-minute drill. In fact, this guy can perform the 2-minute drill in about 37 seconds. It was pretty crazy. I actually was like, because there have been times in my life where like some other medications I've on, I think back in the day I was taking a medication that like I could never bust. I mean, I could stay rock, steady, but never bust. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and never bust. It was so freaking frustrating. It sucked. It wasn't that fun at all. It was great for the partner to a point. Even they would get worn out. You know what I mean? Like, finally, you done yet? No. But this guy, I tell you what. So now normally I don't last forever. A decent amount. I think I'm pretty happy with it. I usually try to last until I've gotten the job done on her. It's standard routine. I always go down south on her first, just because I love it, and my ego gets a big boost and I get even more turned on because that's an easy O. You know what I mean? It can get it. If you can't get a girl to O while you're down there doing that, you're doing something fucking wrong. So it's an easy O. Not every girl gets off every time you going through the tunnel. So you fiddle with the little gate outside the tunnel for a little bit, and usually the tunnel's ready to go after that, even more so. And then you usually do get that O from the tunnel. It's already primed up. So that's always the go-to move first. So once we get to it, I'm not going to say I last forever, but I certainly can go longer than 37 seconds. 37 seconds this fucking guy lasted for. So yeah, they're in good shape when it comes to 2-minute drills. Not even a 2-pump chump. He's a 37-second chump, if it is him. But there is one. It's so blurry. There's one point in time where the POV where you're like this, he goes up like this, and there's a mirror, but the camera light, the flash is on, so it obscures. You can't tell who the person is in the mirror necessarily, but you can kind of see a little bit of a frame, a little bit of a build. Looks like my dude, man. I think it looks like him, but again, just my opinion. I have no idea if that's actually him in those videos or actually her, but I do, in my opinion, believe it is. And I can understand why she broke up with him for a while if he's only lasting 37 seconds. I mean, that's just not going to cut it, guy. Okay. Speaking of relationships, I have a crazy story, and going back to my relationship with B1, something I doubt that's ever going to be happening for me is a marriage. I don't think that's in the cards for us at this point. I don't know. Who knows? I don't think that's something she even wants or knows what. I don't think she knows what the hell she wants, to be quite honest with you. So until then, who knows? But I do have a crazy story about a couple. Is an Indonesian man, and he's going by AK. I don't actually have his actual name, but he goes by AK. AK met his spouse, 26-year-old woman, known as Dinda. All right. So we got AK and Adinda. They met on Instagram in 2023, and they started dating in person for about a year. And I apologize that I'm all leaned over because I'm kind of reading the details of the story because there's a lot of weird names and cities and stuff like that. So AK and Adinda, after hanging out on Instagram, they meet in person and they date for about a year. This was in, like I said, it's in Indonesia, so there's all kinds of weird names like the Wangan Jaya village and Cianjur and stuff like that. So kind of crazy. Now, the thing about Adinda, AK's girlfriend, is that she wore a traditional Muslim niqab that covered her entire face, which AK said okay. AK was okay with the covered face because he said, all right, well, it's a sign that she's very devoted to Islam. So, and he appreciated that about her. So AK was okay with her wearing the niqab, however you fucking say that. I always thought it was called a burqa or whatever, but I guess it's called a niqab now. So after dating for a year, AK and Dinda decided they were going to get married. They decided to go for a little small ceremony at AK's home. And the reason they had to do it at AK's home is because Adinda no longer had any family, saying her mother had died and that her mother died and that her father had run away. So Adinda was alone, had nowhere to marry, no family, nothing. So AK's family said, okay, let's do this wedding ceremony at our house. Now, there was apparently the ceremony went okay. I guess they got married, it was okay. But after they tied the knot on April 12th, he started to get a little concerned that something might be up. She constantly was having lady issues that were preventing her from being intimate with AK. She would tell him that she was on her period or feeling unwell. So AK kind of went to talk to his family about it. And his family admitted out loud, they said, you know what? We're actually a little bit suspicious of Adinda because, you know, when she comes over, she's always got her face covered and she really doesn't say much. In fact, she's got a veil on. And then Adinda said, we need a marriage guardian. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but the family was suspicious about it. Adinda said she needed that marriage guardian on the grounds that her mother had died and her father had gone somewhere and had been living alone in this Sidoan subdistrict, whatever the hell that meant. So AK, after talking to his parents and finding out Adinda, that they're kind of suspicious of Adinda being something off about her, AK says, you know what? I'm going to go back to this area that she says she's from. And I'm going to go to her old address, and I'm going to look into her a little bit. So 12 days after the wedding, he tracked down her former address. And when he got there, he found her parents living there, alive and well. Very confused about the whole situation. He tells them the story of marrying their daughter, Adinda. And Adinda's parents revealed that, well, AK, we have good news and bad news for you. The good news is we're very happy for you that you're married. The bad news is your wife is a man. His name is Eric. He's been cross-dressing since 2020. They said they didn't know their son was in a relationship, let alone married. Apparently, I do have a picture of their wedding photo here, so you can actually see. He, now Eric, this is with the veil off, so you can actually see how this guy could. It looks like a woman to me. I got to be honest with you. That looks like a woman. I could see how this guy would be fooled. But I believe that, like I said, in Indonesia, it's not legal to do this. And so they got the police involved. And Eric was arrested. And here is the mugshot of Eric. This is some guy's wife. Now, I got to be honest with you here. I don't believe, I mean, let's just be honest here. This guy obviously gives some pretty good head, right? I mean, this guy must use no hands at all, is just down there straight going to town like a fucking boss. Because if they haven't been intimate, they dated for a year. Even if they didn't have sex, you know, I'm sure that old Adinda was going down on old AK there. So imagine you date somebody for a year, you think they're a devout Muslim and they don't show their face, but you know, at night, lights are off, you maybe talk her into, you know, lifting up that veil, and then you know, get a little, you know what I'm saying? And then after a year of that, when you're all excited to finally, because I know when I'm getting one of those, every time I'm like, come on, why don't you just jump on? Come on, why don't you just jump on? Like almost every time. There's times where you just want to straight beajaroo. But hey, get away from that camera. But for the most part, usually I'm always like, why don't you just jump on? Why don't you just jump on? Sometimes it works, other times it doesn't. But it's always, you know, you get what you're looking for out of the beajaroo. So this guy finally is like, after a year, yes, I'm finally going to get some action. I'm going to get the southern tunnel. Only after getting the northern tunnel all this time, I'm finally getting the southern tunnel. I'm going to take a trip to Pound Town. I'm finally going to be the mayor of Pound Town. Then you find out that I got my period again. Can't do it. Sorry. It's not going to work out. 12 days it took him to fucking figure it out. He fucking waited a year to try to get some trim. And after 12 days, so ladies, this will give you a little insight into men here. It took him literally, he was expecting to get laid on the day of his wedding. 12 days of not getting laid. He went so far as to track down her family, her old address in another town, to find out why this bitch isn't putting out. And he found out the worst thing you could ever find out, that it was actually a man and he was been getting blown by a dude for a year. But it also raises a really crazy question. It raises a crazy question. What if you've, while being lied to is terrible, you know what I mean? You find out you're being lied to. It's a fucking horrible feeling. Take it from me. It really sucks. Fucks with your head. But sometimes you're willing to move past stuff to try to salvage the relationship if you love someone. Now, if this guy's been with this woman or this guy for a year, was willing to get married, not just to get laid either. You know, if it's been a year, you're waiting that long, you're probably in love with this person. So what do you do at that point when you realize you've fallen in love with the man? If you're not gay. But do you say to yourself, what's more important? Love and the relationship I've built, or being heterosexual? What's more important to me? I love this person. It just happens to turn out to be a dude. It's kind of, I know it sounds weird to even consider that question. Like if you're a super hetero straight dude, to be like, oh no, because there's a cock and balls down there, and what am I gonna do? Well, you could still pull a Donald Trump in prison and do that. But also, like, you know, if you develop that great relationship, do you also say, well, maybe the sex isn't that important, and I love this person, and being with this person is more important to me than the sex. I'm in a relationship. I love this person. I know I got lied to, but I'm in love. It's pretty, it's a weird, I don't know, maybe I'm weird for even considering that question. Maybe that makes me gay. I don't know. But I did find it a little bit intriguing. That was an intriguing question to me when I saw that story. Is love more important, or is your sexual preference more important if you get tricked? I mean, being tricked sucks. You're going to fucking be mad, all that stuff. But like, if you really enjoyed that relationship, you're going to, after the fact, be like, God, that really fucking sucked. I was in love with that person. Just happened to be a man. That sucks. Or does it suck? Because I really enjoyed it. Fucking, that's a mind fuck right there. It really is. Really fucking mind fuck. Especially like if you like look at the idea that you're supposed to not care about what, like me, I'm very shallow, very narcissistic in that sense, and very shallow. I care about what people, their looks and stuff like that. Like, you know, if B1 ballooned up 75 pounds, I don't think I'm going to be real thrilled about it. You know, I still care about her and love her, but I'm not going to be exceedingly attracted to her at that point. You know what I'm saying? You gain a lot of weight, it changes your body, and, you know, like, you know, I hate to be vain and shallow, like, or not vain, but shallow. It's just straight up shallow. I'm very shallow. I hate to say it, but I just am. I don't even know where I was going for that, with that at this point. Shit, where was I going with that? Shallow, gaining weight. Ah, shit, I lost my train of thought because Alan put in a really sweet superfan donation, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Alan. Alan put in a superfan donation, a big fat one. He said, "Don't miss you on the old show. It's not the same without your energy and presence." Thank you. I appreciate that. You're not the first person who says I have a presence. I'll be honest with you. I've actually been told that by 2 people in my life in person, that I have a presence in a room. It was my high school drama teacher. She loved me and said I have a huge presence when I walk in a room. And then, speaking of the old show, Doogie actually said that once. She probably never ever admit it out loud, but she did say it. And Rover was even like, "Really? What are you talking about?" And so that actually made me laugh pretty hard when she said that, because she doesn't really throw out compliments that way. But yeah, that was so that was twice. And now Alan also says a presence. So I love it. Appreciate that. And Tyler T threw in a superfan donation. Says he agrees with above. And I do think you guys now have the ability to like superfan donations as well, guys. Now that I think about it, I think I remember seeing that is a new thing that they do on the live chat. So I think, I don't know how that works. So if you guys want to do that. So anyway, I forgot what I was talking about and wrapping that up. But yeah. Oh, yeah, going back to being shallow. What's more important in the world? That's what the point I was trying to make. Thank you, as I brought myself back around finally. That's what happens when you don't have a co-host with you. They keep rope you in and remind you what you were talking about. No, I was saying in this world, you're supposed to pick your partner based on their personality, right? Not the way they look. So if you fall in love with a dude based on their personality, not realizing it's thinking it's a woman, but you've fallen in love with this person who turns out to be a man, you know, if you break up with them, you're not doing what is the right thing to do, which is be with the person who you love for the person versus who you love for the way they look. Really fucking weird dynamic right there. As far as I'm concerned, maybe I'm fucking crazy. 844-HIT-THUMB, 844-448-3862. Call me crazy. I don't know. Let's see here. I have one last thing we can talk about real quick here, actually, which is pretty good. I wonder what you guys think of this story. I have, do you guys know the band Taking Back Sunday? I went to go look them up and listen to some songs, and I'm a DJ, so I should probably know this band more, but I just don't. I didn't really even recognize their songs. I tried to look up their big song, and I guess I just don't know that band. I don't know what I was listening to when that band came out, that I just don't really know them very well. I don't feel like I've ever had a request for any of their songs or whatever. But anyway, they were playing a song, or excuse me, they were playing a show in, where was this at? And it was last week at a Taking Back Sunday show. Why does the story not tell me what city that it occurred in? That would probably make sense, considering what we're saying happened. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. How did they not tell us where this was at? Anyway, Taking Back Sunday, they had a gig last week. They're outside of the gig, I believe. I don't know if this was after the fact or during the show. But you know how back behind the stage, behind the concert venue, they usually line up all the tour buses. So that's the shot you're going to see, is a shot like a surveillance video of a street with some tour buses in the background. And then in the front, you're going to see, I'll just click right to it. You're going to see a guy just kind of sitting on what looks to be like some sort of cement block. So you'll also notice next to those tour buses, it looks to be two people. Now, you can't really tell what's happening with the two people, where this picks up at. But as you watch, you'll see what happens with the two people. So you can see what looks to be some sort of scuffle ensues. And watch it here. They kind of go round and round. There's a little bit, one guy tries to run away. The other guy seems to chase him. This guy comes running out of nowhere. All right, now, thank you, TMZ. Now, let's go back. You saw all that commotion happening, right? Now, let's keep an eye on our buddy down here in the front while all this is happening. Now, he starts off, he's on his cell phone. He's probably on the phone with his DoorDash driver. He's like, yeah, I'm across from the tour buses. And look for the guy getting stabbed as well. And look at this motherfucker just sits here on his phone while some guy's getting chased with a guy with a knife. The guy with the white shirt has a fucking knife. He's trying to rob this poor guy who's just sitting there at knife point right here. So this guy manages to somehow get away. The other guy chases him. The other guy's kind of, like I said, again, watch our buddy down in the front here. He's on the phone. DoorDash, yeah, I'll have my ID ready when you're here with the beer. This guy just sits here, just watches it, puts his phone down, then says, let me have a sip of beer here. And doesn't even budge when this other guy comes bolting in from in between two tour buses. So what kind of fucking weirdo is this guy that he just sits here through this whole thing and doesn't even budge and doesn't pick up his phone, doesn't go over to try to I can understand if you don't want to jump in and get yourself involved, because I wouldn't want to get stabbed either. But I would at least be like, hey, ooga booga, ooga booga. Or, something to try to let that other guy know that I was there and gonna I got my phone, I'm calling the cops. Something. Instead of literally just sitting there drinking your fucking beer. What a fucking tool. What a fucking piece of shit this fucking guy is. So I do believe that they have looked into, here, where's this nice story? Excuse me. So the alleged victim, his name's Brandon. He's a sound specialist for bands that tour nationwide. So he's like a contracted guy to help out Taking Back Sunday. He shared this surveillance footage this week. Okay, Dallas is where this happened. I'm sorry, I must have read right over it. So Taking Back Sunday was playing. The opening act was called Citizen, Who Gives a Shit. So yeah, Brandon was involved in a scuffle with another man near the tour buses, and they get into a brief fight before he's led away. Claims this was all at knife point and against his will. Brandon says his phone was taken during the whole thing. So that's the guy in the black shirt. In the end, in the footage, Brandon ends up running back while he appears to approach and talk to the man who sat by and didn't do anything. He insists they never even talked, and he got no explanation for why the dude didn't help him. So wait a minute. When this guy fucking ran up, they get to this point in the fucking video right here, where this guy, fuck, how does he not? So this guy, when he comes running up, first off, he doesn't budge, which is still nuts. But how do you not go, bro, what the fuck just happened to you? Instead, there's just no fucking conversation at all. Not, hey, do you need me to call the police for you or whatever? Some people think that that guy that didn't budge, I guess he had a lanyard on, I guess you can kind of see. But they think it might be a crew member for one of the bands. So hopefully they'll kind of, the internet is, they like to fish people out. It'd be fun to find out who this guy is, just so we could, I don't know, call him out. I don't know. Does he deserve to be called out? I think so. You know what I mean? I don't expect him to run over and, like I said, intervene and get in there and jump in between the knife or try to knock the knife out of the guy's hand or something. But like I said, you get over there, you jump up and down, you yell and scream, I'm getting attention over here, and then if the guy bum rushes you with a knife, then you could be in some trouble. Then that would suck. That would suck. So maybe he did do the right thing. Just sit there and shut the fuck up. Because that lunatic might run and chase after you with the knife. But, so that's, maybe you did do the right thing. But you do have a beer bottle in your hand. Guy starts chasing you with a knife. You splash that fucker and you be ready to go. And you have a knife fight. You turn the bottle upside down. You know what I mean? Like I got a wine bottle here. So you'd break it. And normally you're holding it like this. But then you'd switch it like this. If you cut that shard here, you'd be like, ting, 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 ting. Blocking knives like fucking Steven Seagal and fucking Under Siege. Ping, 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 ping. It'd be fucking sweet. Him and Tommy Lee Jones, one of the greatest knife fight scenes at all. I love a good knife fight scene in a movie. Fucking so cool when because they take the knife, like, because you normally, like, I can't do it with that wine bottle, I'm going to break it. But normally, like, you hold a knife, you know, they hold it like this and you stab somebody. But in the knife fight movies, they turn it this way. And they're all like, yeah, they use it like a little mini shield and they ting, 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 ting. And they like do all these weird moves where they go down and they cut little fucking all your arteries in like 2 moves. Like, and then the guy just goes, oh, he bleeds out real fast. Fucking love those. Love those movies. Love a good knife fight in a movie. But anyway, yeah, you could break that break that bottle and be ready to go if that guy charged you with the knife. So technically you are armed. You'd be fine. You could fight the guy off. You just fucking throw that beer bottle and run too, fucking for all I know. Anyway. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap things up for us tonight. Hopefully they'll find that guy and the internet can make fun of him for sitting there and not helping. Or have his back for sitting there and not helping. In the meantime, that is going to wrap things up, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this evening's issue. I had a fun time with you guys. Hopefully we'll have Mikey back for the next one. I'm on the fence about tomorrow night. It all depends on how well I do DoorDashing tomorrow morning. If I'm able to wrap up a little bit early and get home and get my DJ work done for my event on Saturday, because I have a lot of songs to pull, a lot of unique songs. They're definitely not in my library, so it's going to take some time to get those all pulled and get ready for the event. So I'm on the fence again for tomorrow, not 100%. But have your notifications turned on if you don't already have them turned on. That way you will know if I either post or just go live. So make sure you have those turned on. Turn them on to all notifications. That way you get the posts and the live show notifications. And if you've not already hit the thumbs up on tonight's video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you did that. I see we had quite a few people watching and quite a few people doing in the chat. Oh, quickly, I did see this. Thank you. Michelle asks, how is the dog doing, Dumb? And I believe she's talking about Darla. She's doing better. Today is the first day I noticed her kind of spryness is back. She's not as, hey, like looking at me like, hey, why don't you pick me up off the couch and put me on the floor versus me jumping down, or sitting there at my feet waiting for me to pick her up versus her jumping onto the couch or whatever. So a little more spry today, but B1 was actually here earlier and she was sitting on B1's lap and she kind of started shaking a little bit. And I noticed the other night that she did that too. And B1 says, because she's like not an actual vet tech, but she might as well be one. She works in the vet office for like 10 years now. And she said that's a sign of when they're in pain, they start to shake. And it wasn't like a big, huge shudder. It was just like almost this like vibration shake. Like if you put your hand on her back above her neck, you could just feel like this little, like it was just like her muscles are super tense. But not even that. Oh, more of like just a weird shaky muscle. Like that's the only way I can explain it. So that was concerning. But she seems to be okay. Otherwise, I think she had a little scratch on one of her pads, and I think that's still a little sore as that's healing. But she's getting better, slowly but surely. And it's partly my fault because during the winter we didn't do really hardly any activity. We didn't go for walks. We didn't do shit. Only activity she gets is going from couch to the food bowl and then the couch to upstairs and back down. So she's definitely massively out of shape. So she might literally just have gotten her ass kicked as far as just her muscles are beat and her joints and everything because, you know, she had gotten hit by the car. So she's probably a little arthritic as it is from the accident and all the damage that was done to her feet and her shoulders and whatnot. But she's currently rolling around. Oh, that's a bet you can't see her in that view. She just flopped over and she just put her ear over her eye, which means she's trying to take a nap. So, oh, there she is. She's up. Hi, Bean Arena. Hey, Whoops. You're the prettiest girl. You're the best girl. I love you. You're the best puppy. All right, guys. Thanks again for coming and hanging out tonight. To everybody who put in their super fan donations tonight, I want to give you guys another shout out, another thank you. Herman got one in. Nugget Man got one in. Alan got one in. And Tyler got one in. So thank you guys all so much. And to those of you, if you updated your membership or you renewed your membership today or whenever recently, thank you very much. If you've not already done it, hey, get away from that camera. If you haven't renewed your membership, if you're due, please take a second to do that because, like I said, the more people we have supporting the show, the longer we can go. With 1 year right around the corner, the goal is to keep doing this as long as we can, guys. So thank you for all your support. Wouldn't be able to do it without you. I truly mean that. So I am out of here, guys. See ya.